At the break of dawn, the countryside still lay in silence when the sudden wail of an alarm shattered the calm. Without hesitation, Daniel and his hunting team grabbed their rifles and rushed toward the fields. Not a word was spoken. Only tense glances exchanged as their hurried steps closed the distance. Deep hoofprints marked the soil, and broken crop rows told the story. They knew the wild boars had swept through during the night. There was no sitting back. Daniel's team set out at once, following every trace. Today, they were determined to wipe out this threat for good. On the thickly wooded hillside, Daniel's team spread out, sealing off every escape route. To the east, a marksman caught sight of a dark shape flickering beneath the leaves. In a single breath, a gunshot cracked through the air. The bullet dropped the target cleanly, leaving behind a tense silence. But this was only the opening signal for a brutal chase about to unfold, one where even the smallest mistake could come at a steep price. On the western slope, David kept his eye pressed to the scope, watching the opposite hillside. Minutes later, a wild boar emerged, slipping through thick grass in search of cover. Seizing the moment, he adjusted his stance, took a deep breath, and squeezed the trigger. The shot rang out, and the animal collapsed in the grass without a chance to turn back. A chillingly precise hit, erasing the threat the moment it appeared. In another part of the forest, a close-range ambush was unfolding. While tracking faint hoofprints on the damp ground, Mark spotted a wild boar huddled in a thick tangle of thorns. Wasting no time, he raised his rifle and fired a clean burst, cutting off any chance of escape. The animal dropped right where it thought it was safest. Minutes later, gunfire echoed from multiple directions, signaling more threats taken down and a fragile calm returning to the hills. Deep in the tangled undergrowth, Ethan's team moved in quietly, determined to halt the destructive march of the wild beasts. Upon arrival, the hunters spread out, following every hoofprint pressed into the damp soil. Before long, they spotted a group of wild boars foraging, unaware of the danger closing in. When the moment was right, a gunshot cracked through the air.
The boar collapsed to the ground, not even taking...
One dropped on the spot, while the rest slipped away into the darkness. Not wanting the prey to escape, Ethan quickly guessed its path and relayed it to his teammates. The moment the radio call ended, Daniel moved swiftly to the spot. Ahead of him, the wild boar strolled forward, completely unaware. Without hesitation, he raised his rifle and squeezed the trigger. The shot echoed, each bullet finding its mark. This time, fate had closed the door on any chance of their escape. On the other side of the forest, the dog's frantic barking signaled the prey was closing in. Taylor gripped his rifle tight, eyes locked on every movement. In a blink, a wild boar burst out, trying to push through the thicket ahead. He calmly squeezed the trigger, the bullet striking true and stopping it just before the escape route. Another threat was eliminated, restoring a measure of peace to the forest and to the farmers living nearby. After a long day in the deep forest, the hunters returned not only with a victory over the fierce boars but also with the harvest and peace of this land preserved, a journey filled with sweat, determination, and love for their homeland. If you enjoy thrilling stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow the channel so you won't miss the adventures to come.